It's my belief that most of the qualities that you have, your integrity, your virtue, your discipline, your hard work, your growth-mindedness, your humor, your resilience, all of that are forces that are very, very difficult for you to slow down. And that once they've got started, it's incredibly hard for you to stop them. And what you're doing with all of the extra concern that comes over the top of that is just making your day-to-day experience of it a lot more miserable.
But then you get someone who has all the things, and that's how you get a Michael Jordan. You get someone who has physical talent, genetic gifts, the mind for it, discipline, consistent work ethic, and then you get greatness.
So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen, it was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that. So,
above your intelligence, above your work ethic, you will be compensated in proportion to your risk. Pro tip, if you're afraid to take the risk, write down in excruciating detail what you're actually afraid of happening, step by step, what happens next when you fail. You'll often find it's not so bad when you spell it out. Fear exists in the vague, not the specific.
Do you really want to win? Because winning has a cost. Winning requires discipline. Winning requires consistency. Winning requires a willingness to go all in. When you have no evidence that it makes sense, as Donald Lawrence would say, it might not make sense, but it makes faith.
It's everything in its proper place is the answer to that. You know, we might think that our life would be easier without fear, let's say. We might say that our life would be easier without anger or pain. But the truth of the matter is that those things are beneficial, even though they can cause great suffering, but they have to be in their proper place.
I'm afraid of no one. I'll go up and fight anyway. And that's it. Anyone can come down and step in that cage with me or any cage and see how they fare. But nobody fares well, that's for sure.
We're afraid to fail, and then we're afraid if we succeed, more expectation will be there. If you can know that it's just fear, fear can be changed in a few moments by a radical change in your physiology.
And the next story I told myself was, oh, well, he has discipline and I just don't have it.
He wasn't born with genetics. He was
dude, it took me another 10 years after that, another 10 years to figure out that this is a skill and not something you're born with.
I'm not saying that I'd die for the experience to perform.
But that's the ultimate sacrifice. That's the ultimate expression of how much you love something. You die for it or die for them. Yeah.
So much, and if you figure out what you're going to do, what you'll die for, that's what you'll live for that much more.
Right.
While you're alive, while you're here.
Well, there's a reason why I say that. Because the things that you just mentioned, discipline. Guess what you need to go train jiu-jitsu when you're tired and you don't feel like it? Discipline. Guess how you feel when you're done? You feel awesome.
I'm not afraid to fail. I don't mind because I know that failure produces some of the best results. Every time I've ever failed at anything, the humiliation and the pain of it has always forced me to work so much harder.
So when they get to Navy SEAL training, man, they were physical studs. They were running, swimming. I mean, they were hybrids.
Wow.
But they get to buds, and the same amount of people would quit.
Why is that?
This is why. We were training bigger, stronger, faster quitters.
It's interesting to think about sacrificing mediocrity.
Right, but I think that is the appropriate term. People fear being less than extraordinary, and in so doing, sacrifice being extraordinary.
You should get your act together and take care of yourself. So you have to integrate yourself. You have to integrate across anxiety and hatred and pain and jealousy and fear and hunger and lust and all that plethora of spirits that wage war within you.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. You have to bring that into a unity.
That's why goals are incredibly important and struggle and pain are incredibly important. That's what it comes down to. These are the two things to teach your kids, is have goals, accomplish stuff, and struggle, and don't be afraid of pain. Those are the things that you teach your kids, and they'll get a lot of satisfaction.
I always train 100%. I make the training as a game, I don't care. I go full, and if I don't feel good, I need to make some extras. If I feel that the training wasn't enough, let's do something else. Let's do some shots. Let's do some crosses to someone. Let's do something that can make me go out of training and feeling like I'm tired.
The best way to receive discipline is to do what you hate to do, but to do it like you love it. You do that, that's discipline.
And is that something you really practice?
That's all I practiced my whole life, even now.
So that is what people don't get. That is what motivates David Goggins, is the unseen work. But everybody needs that pat on the back. They need that training partner. They need that accountability coach. Oh yes, and neither do they.
Now, as far as you as an individual human being, it's a very similar process. Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice. Train, study, work, practice. And eventually, you will increase your confidence.
I was afraid of everything. I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of my dad's judgment. I was afraid of everything. And the flip that made it for me was just using that fear against something bigger. Was that I was more afraid of looking back on my life and never having tried.
You could sit there and you could cry and you can whine and you can go to therapy and you could talk about healing and all this fucking. But at the end of the day, bro, eventually you got to move past it.
Like the idea of discipline in most people's eyes is like, if you're not a disciplined person, it's uncomfortable, it's going to be painful, it's frustrating, you have to force yourself into these things. It's a muscle, it's a muscle that has to be developed, and these patterns have to be developed in your own mind.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, everything in life, the greatest thing that came in this world came through a sacrifice, right? I mean, I believe in Jesus, so that to me shows that if you want anything in life, it has to require sacrifice in some way.
But if you want to be the best at something,
you've got to be
really
obsessive.
The best strategy. If you really want to compete against other top dogs, you're going to have to do more, or be better, or be smarter, or figure something out that they're not figuring out.
Well, it's really a game of who's prepared to sacrifice most.
It's also who's prepared to learn the most, right?
But what I've discovered is when you go through spiritual pain, you end up with a spiritual power. Because the power is when you can heal that is a whole different level. And then that makes you someone who can help others heal because you've actually lived it. You aren't talking about it with words. You haven't read it in a book. You've experienced it. So
you need to be able to train your body and your brain when they are tired. And I think if you do that in training, when you get to the game and you start getting tired, your brain is used to that also. Your body is used to be tired, and it knows how to react into that moment.
You go through these spiral notebooks of your life, and you realize, this is how I learned. This is unbelievable. There's no miles. It's not about the miles. It's that, having a discipline every day to say, for me to learn this one math problem.
And by the way, all that's training you, right? All those questions are training you. You coming up with a plan is training for you. Because if I'm got people that work for me and they can't come up with a plan by themselves, I'm a complete failure as a leader. So I'm going to train you so that you can come up with plans and I can look up and out.
And I remember thinking, like, I didn't want to be alive because I was so afraid. But once you get over the fear, it unleashes this whole new realm of possibility of being able to do what you want. And
it's not actually about that. It's about having the discipline to do the little things. And it is way better at the end of the night when you're tired to come back to a bed that is made and ready for you to hop into than having to, well, not most people would do this, but make it first and then get into it. But it just gets worse and worse and worse. And in the end, it will take you longer to correct for that than the individual action of just doing it right the first time.
But what better reason to train yourself to handle that shit now? So that when it does come and there is a lot on the line, you can keep your shit together when you know everybody else is quitting.
Competition, because competition inspires excellence. You know, being rewarded for your hard work is a giant incentive for people to get amazing at things. And you need that. You need that too.
Too often, successful people look at past accomplishment for too long, and it does not give them a chance to anticipate future accomplishments long enough. And that's what we try to discipline ourselves to get out of.
When we see someone just hit the zone, we see it in the fight. When we see someone just flow, we see someone flowing like, wow, he's feeling it. You know, whoa, she's locked in. We love that because we know that it's somewhere in ourselves.
You would not understand the amount of adversity I had to conquer to make it to that octagon that night. World tours I went on, the amount of media obligations, the amount of times I felt like I was a monkey in the zoo, locked in a cage, and they feed me a banana and tell me to dance. So I overcame a lot of adversity and a lot of hard work to get to that octagon.
Of having that kind of of having that kind of self-discipline, to every day wake up and having these setbacks where I can't even run a mile.
Wow.
But I'm thinking about running 135. I can't run 1 mile, but I'm thinking about running 135. And with that process, guess what happens? Sooner or later, you can run 10 miles.
I think people are always looking for the easiest way out, and going in is a hard decision to make. It's a very hard decision to make, and it's a very unpopular decision. And it would be the short-term pain that everyone's afraid of.
Like, bro, you can't move past something that you constantly revisit over and over and over and over and over again and build your identity around. You can't become a non-victim if your whole identity is, there's something wrong with me, or something bad happened to me. Something bad happens to everyone.
How do we bind our apocalyptic thinking? That's a good question, man. That's a good question. We do that through truth. We do that with the truth. That's how we do it. Through dialogue, through investigation, through exploration, through discipline, all of that. The Logos is the antidote to the apocalypse.
And the way I looked at it and the way I was taught was that martial arts are a vehicle for developing your human potential. And that through the incredible struggle of training and competing, you will learn more about your ability to excel at anything.
Yeah. To have a certain code of ethics is a very selfish thing to do. Much more selfish than to lie, cheat, steal, people over, be evil on the short term.
Right.
You're building an army of people, a collective friends along the way, someone that might have your back. Not that you're doing it for those reasons, but it's happening. That's a selfish means of your own survival.
Everywhere I look, I see fake work, or pretend work, or pose work. So I put in real work, hard work, and that's it. You know, people pull out all the time and people make excuses all the time, but I just get on with it, put in the work and reap the rewards, and that's it. And that's why you're seeing me with everything and with complete control of this whole game.
No, discipline is fucking everything. It will decide whether or not you actually become what you want to become or not. It will dictate your physique. It will dictate your income. It will dictate your spouse. It will dictate your family. It will dictate every single thing in your life.
You know, I'm really me. I'm a thief. I'm a crook. I'm some world's greatest fighter of all time. So I thought this was some kind of trick the youth center was trying to pull on me.
Oh, yeah, those youth centers.
So this guy turned out to be the real deal, and I turned out to be Mike Iron, like whatever the fuck people think I am.
Stop tolerating mediocrity. You have to detest mediocrity in your life, and you have to understand the only way you're going to meet yourself is through pain and suffering. And if you can become a master of suffering, the things that you can do with your life are truly unlimited.
It's like worlds apart.
Technique. It's technique. I mean, just like anything else, just like jiu-jitsu, technique will win. Rock climbing, technique will win. It's interesting that people think you'd be able to fight without training, but why wouldn't you be able to play guitar without training? It's the same exact thing.
Being an asshole is a weak person's idea of strength. Complaining is their connection. Never let yourself be held back by other people's fears. People criticize what they were afraid to do themselves because bold action reminds them of their own inaction. If you're afraid to be criticized, why do you care about the opinions of those who are too timid to do it themselves?
And I've made every motherfucking mistake in the world. So the reason that I go so hard is because I know what I'm not. And while people may look at the external reality and think, oh man, he's so smart, he's so gifted, every motherfucking thing that you see was earned through a mistake or pain or frustration or getting my balls kicked in.
My life was taken from me. The one thing that kept me going was my training.
Now you didn't have that.
I didn't have anything.
Now you just had to sit alone. And not train.
And that's what changed me. And that's when I realized I hadn't taken time to think about what I'd done in my life.